up, everybody?
What's happening, family?
And welcome back to another episode of Is This Gonna Cause an Argument? I am your host, who's so happy to be here. If you don't know my name, let me start with the list. It's Angel Tanksley, the wife to the man, the myth, the legend, Marcus. It's Angel Akita Moore, the actress on television, in film, commercials. You done seen me. And then the influencer slash host, that chick Angel, who's on tour with her husband starting June 11th. Tickets are selling out real fast. Don't you wait or your ass will be outside. VIP is sold out, I think. And I am joined by the other host of this podcast. Baby, tell them who you are.
Marcus Tanksley, a.k.a. Tank. If it's your first time tuning in, we greatly appreciate it.
We
all
do.
Right? It's a podcast we do every single week, and we are a married couple, and we talk about the married things, unmarried things, post, pre-marriage, all of it. Yeah. Current events, Kanye West and shoulder pads, blue socks on public streets. We talk about a little bit of everything, and every time we talk about this stuff, we are also joined by our immediate family. That's the people in Patreon. That's what we call them, our immediate family. If you're not on Patreon, you're part of the general public family. All right. Right now, we talk to the immediate family. They watching this live right now. They watching us record it. You can be a part of the immediate family. All you got to do is go to patreon.com/thatchickangel and be a part of that. Sign up for the low of $5 a month. You under dig? And, hey, we do all kinds of stuff with Patreon outside of just the stuff that we put up and record. This week, we are sponsored by us.
We're sponsored by Jesus. And he is a sponsor that keeps on giving. Mm-hmm. The doors of the podcast are now open for you to get to know Jesus. Use our promo code. Jesus paid it all. /argue.
You tickled yourself?
That's great. That we just heard a joke that Marcus told about 12 years ago that was so racist that we can't tell it again on camera.
How did you remember that? I don't even remember saying that, but that joke is hilarious as hell.
It was so good.
It's right. It's a good racist joke, though.
No, it's not good at all. It's funny.
We can tell Patreon.
No, we're not.
Oh, he said this. I got tickled at myself because that shit was hilarious. I said, is that the type of stuff be flying out of my mouth?
Yes, you dummy. You dummy. I meant to go in there and tell Queen of Denora, but they were having a deep conversation.
That's a meme.
No, it's not. I need you to understand.
Oh my
God. Does not
that
work.
joke is hilarious.
Anyways, I am out of town for graduation next week. So we're filming this extra early for our podcast. Our Patreon. We're filming it on a Friday. We're going to do an abridged episode. It would have been longer, but as you all know, in the Tanksley tradition, we had technical difficulties. Yeah. And it only happens to us, I feel like. I don't see anybody else struggling as much as we do.
It'd be hitting us hard.
It'd be boxing us upside our heads. It'd be boxing us. Look, why is Soraya like, why don't you tell us at the tour, just the VIP people? No.
I might slip y'all some of y'all. Hey, so this is what I said.
And then they look at you and be like,
that is hilarious.
No, what if they're like, that's really mean?
It's a good joke, right?
No, but then you're like, but no, you get it? You see? Because let me tell you what you look like.
Because of where we were and... Oh, that was grade A racism. I tell you, it's the type that you read somewhere. It's like, that's wrong, but that's hilarious.
Oh, my goodness. So, yeah.
I heard some black racial jokes, and I'm like, that's funny.
What I was going to have us talk about, but then I realized, well, I don't know. You're going to have to tell me if this is okay. And I meant to say it before we got on camera and look at where we are now on camera. I had wanted to have a little bit more of a transparent episode about some of the like business, what is it? Not business relationships. Business is not, I'm going to use communication, how we're working on that in therapy, of being able to communicate better, and some of the things that we both learned.
Yeah.
Is that cool or not?
Oh, yeah. Go ahead, girl. I just want something that's in my feelings real quick.
Please.
Let me tell you what's got me in my feelings.
I got something making me feel good.
This has got me feeling great, y'all. I finally fixed the goddamn mics.
Oh,
y'all
yeah.
see that ain't rattling and moving around? It feels like I got a new chair.
Yes. Thank you, Marcus. That's for real. Thank you.
Get out of here.
I'm not even being patronizing.
It was such a small thing, but it's so great to move this and it not be like, feel like 8 different things in your hand moving around. Yeah, that's all I had to say about that. Go ahead.
Oh, we can do In My Feelings.
Therapy.
What's got you feeling some type of way?
Nothing.
No,
This bicep a little bit.
I'm sorry.
But then the fact that I am where I am in my workouts, I'm Gucci.
This is Marcus dressed down, you guys. This is Marcus not really caring that much. I want y'all to look. We were talking before we started recording about you recorded a podcast or content.
I've recorded content
every single day.
Every single day this week. And today I was just like, I don't feel like trying to match up nothing. I'm going to throw on some sweatpants, T-shirt, and shoes. And
you feel like you have not you didn't match up anything?
What I match up? I got on gray and black.
You have on the same brand. You have on Actively Black and Actively Black.
Okay.
With tennis shoes that pull it all together.
How do these shoes pull it together? They got black in them. I don't feel like that was a hard try.
I want you
guarantee
to see
y'all
what I
to
don't
go
try.
in your closet and find a pair of shoes that don't have black in them. It's going to be hard as hell.
Marcus, when I don't try, I look silly. When you don't try, you look like effort.
All right.
You don't see that about yourself?
Mm-mm.
With your jewelry on?
That was the try. I said, I'm going to throw this same bracelet and chain I always have on.
You got to help me put my wedding ring back on.
I did that on purpose. That's why I got the 2-tone band, so it don't matter what I wear, whether it's gold or silver, it's going to match.
With his black earrings.
They ain't came out. I put these in like 8 years ago when they've been there. I take them out every now and then to clean them. These don't come out.
You look good is what I'm saying. What's got me and my feelings feeling good is that our ticket sales are going great. Tickets are, listen, do not wait. We really do not want you all to miss this show, just in case it's our only show.
It's going to be a fire-ass show.
But the ticket sales have been.
If it's just one show, it's going to be fire.
We going all out, okay? So look at the link in the show notes and in the description of this video so that you can purchase tickets because it's not a game. Anything got you feeling some type of way?
Nah. Anything that's got me feeling some type of way, there's a opposite and equal to that's got me feeling good. So, like I said, my biceps irritated again, but where I'm at in my workouts, I'm happy.
I get it.
I was sick, allergies messing with me, but hey, they ain't as bad as I thought they would be after all this rain we had.
Amen. Only thing that's got me in my feelings is school still ain't out.
That right there.
I'm like, y'all got more days?
When they get out?
June 9th.
Man. We
got more days.
That is. I'm sick and tired of the driving.
I'm like, come on, guys. Come on. The school tried to call me to get me to give up their spot. The school that they currently attend tried to call me to get me to give up their spot so they could open it up to other families. I said, we still ain't paid. So y'all got to wait until the money is there.
Y'all ain't give us no spots early.
They did at the top of the summer, but I don't care. It wasn't a favor. We had to wait till we were top of the list.
That's what I'm saying. We didn't get no favors.
So I'm like, I'm going to make sure everything is good.
Dang, June 9th.
We going to make it. We going to be crawling over that finish line. I'm sad because Amar's going to miss all the last day of school stuff for preschool.
He ain't going to care.
Listen, exactly. All right, so therapy. Marcus is borrowing my therapist right now. My therapist. And as we've said multiple times on here, we have so many ways in which we have to learn how to communicate with each other that's different than normal, regular life.
Right.
We worked on and have worked on consistently how we've communicated as husband and wife. We now have the added texture and layer of being business partners. And even that has different layers because we have business partners where we are equals. And then we have business interactions. That's the word I was looking for, interactions. Business interactions where I am trying to help coach Marcus. And so he is more of like the student or the mentee in how to just certain different social media techniques. So as I've mentioned before, we've done the Gallup strengths test. And one of the things that me and Marcus are both low on the Gallup strength test. His is way lower than mine, but mine is low too.
It goes like 1 to 37, 38?
Or 39. Maybe.
39, 1 to 39. So 1 being what's at the top of your personality and your thought process. 39 being meaning you don't think about this at all.
It's not your strength.
Not your strength. Yeah, strength.
So like one of mine is it's not called flexibility. One of my lowest is the person that can just go with the flow.
Yeah.
Like I like to know the plan, and that is not, it's not good. Adaptability is what it's called. While I can adapt to new situations, this adaptability means you don't need a plan. You just show up and anything, and that drives me crazy. Yeah. So that ain't it.
Adaptability's much higher on mine.
Which is why we end up butting heads.
Adaptability on mine is in like the teens or something.
Yeah.
Like low teens too. It's like pretty close adaptability. One of my top ones is I'm very analytical.
Yes.
Extremely analytical. That's like in the single digits. I can't remember where. It might be 1 or 2. I can't remember.
So with being analytical, while Marcus is adaptable, meaning he doesn't absolutely know has to know what's going on to be a participant. Mm-hmm. If I want Marcus to give as much energy to something as I'm giving, he has to know the big picture.
Because I'm very analytical.
So he can analyze the big picture. So
we actually said that a while ago on here. Mm-hmm. It was something about revolving around social media. I was like, I compared it to blueprints. And I'm like, you still go look at the full thing before you start looking into the details.
Yeah. So a prime example of that is when a door is loose, like, when you put together like a curio case or like an entertainment center, and like the door of it is not at a flush, like parallel 90 degrees, and it's kind of
plumb and flush. Yeah.
Plumb. That's the word. Marcus can tell which screw needs to be tightened in order for it to go back plumb. Same thing if we're at a restaurant and the table is rocky. Marcus can quickly analyze which leg or which apparatus where he needs to put extra cushion to get the thing to level out. Like for me in day-to-day life, I see you do that all the time. And I've always, you think I'll be playing you. I'll be like, how did you do that? You angel. It's simple.
Look, did you look at the geometrical force that the water fell on?
It is so. With that, sometimes when I'm only giving Marcus a bunch of details, just details, it doesn't allow his analytical mind to do the work that it wants to do. Mm-hmm. Therefore, he throws himself in neutral, is the way I would describe it. Is that it?
Sure, go ahead.
No, I'm saying if you were to listen to that analogy, does that sound like a false?
For lack of a better way of explaining it, it's fine. Yeah, you can go with neutral.
I was supposed to be in a meeting right now. I'm sorry. Send an email. Yeah, let them know that we had so many technical difficulties. So For those of y'all who watched our last episode, which more of y'all need to watch, the numbers are down on that episode. What are y'all doing?
What the hell y'all doing? Y'all talking about we want to get over here. Where y'all at?
Well, you know what? They were watching Dear Wifey. They were trying to figure out what Derek Jackson's wife was saying.
Well, that was one day.
Y'all come on back. Come on. They only got so many hours in the day. They mad that they didn't get the episode to let us tell it last week. They're like, that's your punishment. You didn't want to do it.
Ain't got nothing to do with this over here.
So last week, I gave Marcus an overall goal for the episode. And if you all didn't check out last week's episode, Marcus was on fire. He was unhinged. He was I
feel like it was no different from any other episode.
Oh my God. It was drastically different.
I do know sometimes I can be kind of low when you start, well, the first time you felt this feeling, I tap out mentally sometimes, even though I don't try to.
Yeah, we can
I'll
see
be tapping
that you don't
out.
try to.
It's been time. Yeah, I don't feel like it was.
But I gave him an overarching goal, which I think allowed his brain to be like, okay, let me jump in here. Let me do that there, or what have you. So we've been trying to figure out through therapy how we both can be better business partners to each other. Now, one thing that we found out that we both have low.
This is the part. It's an obstacle we're going to have to overcome, but it was still hilarious to find this out. Like, is that right?
A strength that neither one of us have, which y'all shouldn't be shocked, is empathy.
Empathy is like
37 for him, I do believe.
It's like empathy. Only thing after empathy for me is like calculus. Like,
it's 13 for me. So like it's not as low as his, but you usually look at your top 10 strengths, and those are the strengths that you try to operate in as much as possible, and then you can try to strengthen your other ones or get someone else that's better at it. So you have two people who have a hard time putting ourselves in the other person's shoes.
Yeah.
So, which causes us not to be empathetic to the struggles that the other person is having in this business.
Yeah.
So, how that shows up, give an example of how, if you think you can, of how I am sometimes not empathetic to you.
When it comes to the way I go about doing things, it's like even like with let's say just uploading a video. It's like if you were to watch me, the way I upload a video, for me, I found the easiest way and quickest way possible for me to do that. You would see that and just like, but Marcus, I don't understand why you don't do this, or you start throwing a bunch of ideas. To you, it sounds simple. Why I don't do it your way? To me, it's extremely difficult to understand, and you're just further complicating it. Like this whole thing where you was like, oh, we could just record out of this, and I'm like, oh, we could just bring that in there, plug them up, and record, and we done. So you see it your way, I'm gonna see it my way, and with you, your way is the law. Nah, but we think we both do that. It's and I think it's one of those where you offer advice often, and I think a lot of times that seems as when I don't take your advice, it's like, well, he ain't lit. I'm like, no, it's not that. A lot of times it's I don't like to overcomplicate things. Like, that I do not like to overcomplicate things. That's one thing that hits me. Like, I can't stand being in a conversation and the same thing's being said over and over. I'm like, why are we still saying this? Didn't you repeat yourself again? So we done. I already understand now. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, especially if it's a lot's getting thrown at me and I don't understand it, it's like, all right, this is getting really complicated and it's unnecessary. So I'll go into neutral.
So that's when I feel like you go into park.
Yeah. Like, you know what?
He turns off the car.
Pow. You get a backfire too. Pow, pow. Pow. All right, it's done. Open the door. Get out. Close the door.
And he's doing all of that in his mind, not even listening no more.
Walking off.
The way Marcus does not show empathy to me is how much of this load I carry on my shoulders. So in an effort, when I need like certain things offloaded, for instance, the same example, I was like, Marcus, he was like, we can use my system in there. I said, well, we don't need the MIDI. We just need the card. Marcus's idea was something that required way more steps. But in his mind, he's like, all I got to do is unplug, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Now, mind you, I am troubleshooting this in real time. And I'm the only person here that is, and I'm not that capable. I'm actually far from it. But I am the most qualified person to troubleshoot this dang on software problem. So his thought of, let me just do it my way, felt empathetic to me because I'm giving you exactly what I'm saying I need. And you're like, no. This is, he did end up, what is the word? Not resigning. He ended up doing it the way I had asked him. But I think some of the time, I know you are aware how much of the load that I carry. Yeah. But the actions of,
and that's the like huge difference in our thought processes, because this is like sound. Don't worry about the sound. I got the sound. You keep focusing on that. I already got what I'm in mind. What I'm gonna do for the sound. We need sound. The sound's gonna be just as good as it would be regardless of what happens. I got the sound. In his
mind, that is what he. In his mind, that's exactly what he thinks.
Yeah, but and what's crazy is that's
and that's very big picture, but I'm thinking of smaller details that you aren't thinking about yet.
But that's but go ahead.
No, please. I don't want to.
But that's I was reading this article of why men work. They say in general, a lot of times men work a lot better together than women do. It's like you can put 5 men in a room, 5 women in a room, and they both have the same task. Men can have to say very little. Like they can see what the first 2 are doing. The next 3 is like, well, I'm going to handle this. The other 2 is like, well, they got those 3, so I'm going to handle this. To where it's like women, I think it involves more discussion. So when it's like, we need mics, my mind already went to, I got the sound. Don't even worry about it. And you were thinking, well, because that's when we started talking about the whole syncing thing. And I think a lot of times that comes up when we're having a discussion or, we're going about, the same task or trying to get to the same finish line. We have 2 completely different thought processes about going about doing it.
Yes. Somebody that Sizzle says, is that empathy? It just seems like operations management. Let me tell you how it is empathy. Is if you can empathize with how stressed out I was with trying to troubleshoot a software that we don't know well enough that has started to give us problems last week that Josh didn't even troubleshoot, to be, and I don't want to, I'm using the word combative, but it wasn't like that. He wasn't being combative, but to push against me during that time feels empathetic to, do you not see?
Yeah. And so this is where I'm at. I'd already come up with a full solution. I was like, we can use my phone same way we do Let Us Tell It. Same way we used to do this podcast, same way Kevin and Melissa used to shoot. We can use a cell phone and we got the mics. Problem solved. Like, don't even stress. We got time to figure that out. Don't even stress over that. We already got something. We already have a full solution for sound, all of that. I'll even edit it. We ain't got no thing. It's all good. You going to be gone next week? I can edit and post this. Don't even worry about it. And that's where my mind went to. We got a solution, so I'm over here on the phone. Why are you stressing over that? You know what I'm saying?
Y'all see? Yeah. But that is where, that is.
But that was me not being empathetic. I'm like, I don't understand why you're stressing. Yes, that's a problem, but that ain't a problem we need to worry about right now. We just got to do this episode, and here's the solution for this episode.
Yeah, I It was a discovery that I had in my last session with my therapist, because originally she thought that empathy was really high for me. And when she said that, when she said, with you being somebody who empathy is one of your strengths, I said, are you getting me confused with somebody else? She said, wait, am I wrong? I said, go look in my file. Because again, we're on the phone. We're not on Zoom. And she said, you are right. Yours is a 13. She was like, so it's not in your top 10. I was like, yeah, empathy is something. It's not as low, but like this. It's not as low as Marcus's, where it's truly just a weakness for him. It is low in mine, where I have to intentionally put myself in other people's shoes. It's not something that I naturally do. I have to, when we are talking about topics on women, God is Angel just a really good actress?
Yeah, because y'all all thought, empathy, that's number 2 for her. Angel don't give a shit about nobody or nothing.
Listen, yes, I am a great actress. I really am. No, I have to be intentional. And luckily, in my workspace, I have no problem being intentional.
See, I display exactly who I am. Y'all not surprised empathy's not on.
Listen, this is exactly what, let me tell you, this is exactly what I said to our therapist. I said, I have been a host since little Marcus was younger, before the twins got here. I realized my job as a host is to have an opinion regardless of whether or not I care. You all see me talk about several things I care nothing about, especially on Here's the Thing. I care not. This is why this show can sometimes be a little bit more difficult for Marcus, in the sense of, if we're talking about something that he doesn't have an interest in, him inserting some sort of opinion or emotion on it is not a skill that he's had to really work on, because money, one, it wasn't attached to money. And two, it just wasn't needed in the work field that he was.
Or life.
He was in.
It wasn't needed in anything.
So when we talk about people on Here's the Thing, I am legitimately pausing, saying, okay, because while I'm not extremely empathetic, I am very self-reflective. So I have to stop for a second, and I go, okay, if I was in this person's shoes, is there any type of similarity that I would more than likely showcase in action? But that is like, that I'm actually doing that mental work. It is not a reflex. It's not a reflex for me at all. The reason why Marcus does so good on TBTB is the one thing Marcus hates is people. That's not what I meant. I started laughing because I used the word hates. That's why, because I was like, that is not a wrong descriptor. That is completely a wrong descriptor.
I mean, I don't hate people. I don't.
Marcus is easily annoyed by people. So while he might not care about the people that we're talking about, their annoying actions are something that he can easily speak on. He doesn't care about whether or not these people stay married, what they do in their households, their future, their past, their present. But their actions annoy him enough that he can be like, let me tell you about it. Somebody asked, is that
same for things that people inspire me too? I can speak on that, but what?
Somebody said, does that change with your kids though? Danielle, it's a struggle. I used to say, I still do. Your tears mean nothing to me. Your tears mean nothing.
That can be easily taken out of context, because it's one of those situations where they don't, it's let's say it's a math problem. We've seen them solve these problems multiple times over and over. And then one day they come home and they're stuck. And their first reaction is to start, ain't no yelling going on, ain't no fussing. It's just like, babe, you've done this before. And they start crying. And then Angel's response is, your tears mean nothing because you can figure this out.
I'll be like, we're going to work. We're not going to stop.
Yeah, I'm not going to stop and comfort you in this moment because your emotions are getting the best of you because you can't figure this thing out that you know how to do. Your tears mean nothing to me.
Yeah. I hear how harsh it sounds, but I could put it on a shirt. My kids have heard it multiple times. So this is how I've worked on it as a parent. This is how I've worked on it as a parent. Because the tears don't. The tears don't honestly mean a lot to me. What I do want to hear are the words describing why you are crying. So if you're telling me, if you're crying, if you can articulate to me, I'm frustrated, then we can have a conversation about that. Okay, tell me why you're frustrated.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're getting confused? Okay, now is there a way that mommy can help you not be confused?
And as harsh as it sounds, this is probably why our oldest son is so emotionally intelligent. Marcus can get upset and he can verbalize exactly how he feels and what he's going through better than I can.
Yeah. Yes.
Like he's really good at that because he's been, unlike me, didn't nobody ever tell me why do you feel the way you do or why are you upset? Nobody ever asked me that as a child.
Yeah.
Or they asked me like, what's wrong with you? Nothing. All right, gone somewhere. Like it wasn't. I didn't have to. I wouldn't. And I still haven't had to use that. Now I'm a grown ass man trying to figure out like when her and the therapist is trying to get me to dig deep. Give me a moment. I don't know.
Yeah.
How do you feel right now? Frustrated.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, Danielle Jones is not my upbringing. My sisters and my mother are extremely emotional. So maybe the opposite, that I got tired of it. I was like, we cried about something else. Okay.
Yeah, actually, who?
All right, one more time.
All of y'all, all of them are, right?
Very emotional.
Yeah. I was going to say, Angel's the only one that's not emotional.
They're,
She has one that's more emotional than all the, that's my seal. That's more emotional than everybody. I can call her right now and have her cry. I used to do it for fun.
You think that you could break the rest of them just as quick?
Really? Well,
Oh, yeah.
we've talked more, so I have a closer, not closer, but it's just a more familiar relationship with her.
Yeah, yeah. So
She's the only one that would call me. Them other heifers didn't call.
Melissa does call you. She texts them too. So for me, yeah, I just, like a lot of women, if they see a child crying, they're like, oh my God, is everything okay? I am assessing what I see and I go from there. The tears aren't the thing that get me to react.
Yeah.
It is the facts around.
Yeah. Oh, that was when Marcus was running track. I know y'all probably heard this story or remember this story. Before some of the races, he would always break down in tears.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm out there. What's wrong with you? You're going to get in these blocks and you're going to take off and run. He can't get it together.
Oh, my mother's in here. I just now realized. I said, who is ITSO? It is so.
This random ass white lady came up. Well, why don't we go find his coach? I am his coach. Stop all that crying and get this race done. Well, maybe we should get his parents. I'm his daddy. Mind your business. Because if I give into it, he's just gonna cry more. No, shut that up. This is a race. Your life is not in danger. And this boy came in second. Same thing at basketball. You remember that lady? You was like, oh, I know. I saw you react to her. What did you say to that woman?
Oh yeah, he made her go sit down so quick.
Over here meddling.
So for us, and I mean, this is probably why God gave me. I don't know. I'm not gonna put that on why God gave me boys, but for me, with my boys who cry a lot, okay, all the time. If I were to, I feel like nothing would get done if I had to comfort them. And oh my God, you're crying all the time. I would not, like, for instance, here's another way in which I knew when little Marcus accidentally kicked that ball at 100 miles an hour into Mel's face.
Oh my God.
And I saw how Greg reacted to him, and I saw my son, and I knew my son was dead inside. I knew it.
Crushed.
Marcus went ahead and sent him to go on
somewhere.
somewhere.
Marcus. Yeah, go ahead. Go on upstairs.
And so I knew what he was feeling, right? Regardless of whether or not he cried, I knew what he was feeling. The tears didn't need to happen for me. So I gave him a couple minutes and I called him down because I needed him to see that no one was mad with him. I mean, obviously we wish that the situation didn't happen, but we also know that he wasn't trying to be reckless or hurt anybody. So he came down and the tears is on his way. And I was like, come here. And I gave him a hug because I knew that is actually what he needed in the time was the assurance that it's okay. Yeah. It's okay. Everybody else gave him a hug. That is not
Greg almost started crying.
Right. Oh, Melissa walked off. She said, because I'm going
Greg
to
was
cry
like,
with
man,
him.
I'm about to start crying. It's okay. We not mad. I'm about to cry, man. But yeah, it was like one of those things. It's like I couldn't imagine being in his shoes of kicking a ball, hitting an adult in the face by anybody in the face by accident.
Yeah. And
then everybody just reacting to her like, oh my God, what you know, I'm like, boy, didn't I just, because I just literally just told them, stop kicking the ball so hard, y'all gonna hit somebody. I'm like, Mark, I just told you that, man. Oh, you know, he was just apologizing. I was like, go, because I could already say, I said, man, go ahead.
So I do not like to react off of someone's emotion. I like to react off of what is actually needed in the actual situation, which makes me appear in like it makes me appear less empathetic, and then also I come off because some people, they don't, if you cry, they just gonna cry with you. That is how much empathy they have. They don't need to know the reason, but the fact that they can see that you're sad, they are so empathetic, they will be sad with you. You could be happy, they're like, we happy together. I am not that person. I need some words to be said.
Angel's happy all the damn time, and I'm like, what are you happy about?
But I need that extra step. People who have higher empathy, they don't need that step.
Yeah, this is how it can be helpful. Like a lot of people are like, oh, you can tell Marcus ain't got no empathy. But like when our niece passed and I had to go sit with Angel's mom, could only imagine the amount of emotion that she was going through. Me breaking down crying with her would not have helped anything.
That is his analytical mind.
Yeah, and she admitted, she was like, I'm so glad you are here, because I'm like, do you need anything? If she needed to be upset, she knew she could be upset. If she needed to talk, she knew I was there to talk. If she needed to laugh, we can laugh. I'm here for whatever you need, but me getting to your emotional state ain't going to help a damn thing.
Which is what causes him for empathy to be lower for him. It's not that he's still not helpful in those situations. It's just and I've told my friends this, if you're looking for the friend to cry with you in a situation, do not call me, because I will disappoint you. But if you're looking for the friend that wants you, and this is an issue that I have being a fixer, if you're looking for the friend that while you're crying, you need to get done, call me, because all of it will be done, plus some of the stuff you forgot that needed to be done. So that is what... So the lack of empathy that we both have does not benefit us in this situation.
Nah.
Because
I don't know why you ain't just put the stuff up. Why you over stressed out, man? Shut up.
Let me tell you, it is.
Yeah, hearing it, we realized the problem, which is great, but also hearing it was hilarious. It's like, oh, that's
right.
Like we neither
I was like, I said,
she came home and took us. I didn't know where her empathy level was.
Yeah.
And I didn't, at the time, I didn't look at my chart. I remember her saying, she was actually telling me that because my empathy is so low on mine, I even have lack of empathy for myself. And a lot of times that I can, struggle, that causes other things for me to struggle with or whatever. Mm-hmm. So when Angel came home and said that, I was like, that's funny. Like that we both over here just not caring with the other one. But it helped, dude. Just knowing that helped.
So some tools that she gave me. So empathy. So when Marcus says, I can't go that deep. It's taking me. It's like, no. Like when I asked you, like, how do you feel about that? that was really hard. That it's always hard for me when he says that, because sometimes I'm like, you just try harder in my head.
Mm-hmm.
But now knowing, okay, when it comes to emotional intelligence, it's just not his strength. He'll grow in it. It's just not something he's had to grow in.
And here's the thing with Angel. I will give a extremely great analogy. She won't accept it.
Because I'm like, what did you
She's like,
say?
nah, say it the way I want to hear it.
No, because the analogy is still not giving me your feeling. So, my therapist gave me some tools specifically inside of this podcast, because we have two overarching goals for each podcast episode, and it needs to hit one of them. And one of those is kind of insightfulness / vulnerability. That's what you're getting from us in this episode today, instead of a funny episode. She was like, someone whose emotional intelligence isn't at the top, isn't like Melissa is somebody who's very emotionally intelligent.
Oh,
right?
Melissa loves sweltering and those. She can sit around for 10 hours straight and talk feelings and emotions, and Angel can sit right there with her.
And it's not just
and Melissa can cry, and Angel can be like, yeah, girl, it's fine. And they love that shit.
She can articulate it really, really. She can not only feel her feelings, she can also articulate what she's feeling really well. Marcus, when I thought he just wasn't trying, it's just, no, it's a lot harder. And with someone who is not that big of a talker, no. And two, on the topic of emotionally, how do you feel about something, I have to give him more time. Here's the issue with a podcast format. We can't be having 10 and 12 seconds of empty space. And it's going to take more than that.
Yeah.
To ask the question and then allow your brain to like work its way to whatever it is, right?
Leave that shit out. It's that easy. There's a solution.
No,
fix her.
That's not the solution. The solution is on those podcast episodes, giving him the notice of that days ahead of time. Now,
I'm gonna sit and think about that shit days ahead.
Yeah, you are, because at the overall arching goal for this podcast to be successful is a part of it. I'm not saying that it's going to be any easier for you. I'm just giving you more time. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that he can have his whole blueprint. See? You see that? I'm allowing you to create your blueprint for the conversation so that you don't have to worry about me throwing you, even though you are adaptable, throwing you curveballs that take you into a place that's not a strength of yours. Because then you can control more of the conversation, because you have already mapped out, I feel this about this. And what I can do so that it's not one word sentence is compare it.
I feel this about this.
No.
Back to you.
No.
To the right.
Is compare it to this other thing that I enjoy talking more about. This is where your analogies come in. But you've led with some sort of vulnerability and emotional insight, and then you can take it through to the other pieces. See,
I'm just listening.
No, you're not actually.
I am. I heard everything
your
said.
face is
Don't worry about my face.
No. I want you to know your face is letting me know everything else that's happening, though.
But listening is at the forefront of that.
You said just listening, and I said the just is not what you're
all right,
doing.
I'm listening.
Okay, I don't care about that.
All right, then what are you talking about?
I'm talking about everything else that's going on in your mind.
Don't worry about what's going on. It's in my mind.
I'm going to worry about it.
No.
Yeah, because your mind and my mind
it ain't got
this.
nothing to do with anything.
Yes, it does. It's got everything to do with this. They said the side-eye Kang is in the house. That's what you gave. Anyway, that is what we're working on right now in therapy. I thought I'd share it with you all, and hopefully eventually you'll see a change.
Man, what's today's date?
The 26th?
June 9th?
Anyways, anything else you want to add? How are you feeling?
All right. Don't expect me to go in these deep emotions. You got my mommy confessions for that.
I'm not. That's not what I asked for.
What
I
you
did
asking
not
for?
ask
So what
for
are you
it.
asking for?
For you to be able to come up with articulate thoughts around topics that might not be your like
All right.
in your bag, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like that's just not helpful? To give you more time?
Yeah, you can give me more time. That's cool. We'll try it.
Lack of empathy. There we have it. You guys, you can catch us.
I'm rubber, you're glue.
You can catch us every Wednesday right here on That Chick Angel TV on YouTube. Please make sure you subscribe. Plus, press that notification bell. You can also check us out wherever podcasts are found. Please rate and review us. It is the easiest way to find us. You can find me at That Chick Angel across all platforms in my self-care line, shopmamalikes.com, Shop Mama Likes on Instagram. The business is just called Mama Likes. And then please check out my other podcast, Mommy Confessions, which is on our other YouTube channel at Mama Likes 127 on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Go over for all the feelings. Y'all can find me on Instagram at Marcus Ain't on the Gram, Facebook at Marcus Ain't on the Book, TikTok at Tank Don't Talk. I ain't posted over in a minute. Y'all can find my beard and body butter called Man Shit, and you can go to manShyt.com. Also, make sure you in the LA area.
Come on, babe.
Close to the LA area. If you within an hour or two,
or four,
or six of the LA area, June 11th, okay? We're going to be at the Bourbon Room. This is going to cause an argument podcast tour. It's going to be very entertaining, very interactive. It's going to have a good time.
Marcus is going to be emotionally vulnerable. He's going to be funny. He's going to be all the things.
Lack of empathy because he's lying to y'all.
You are going to be emotionally vulnerable.
I will be very entertaining for y'all. I'm going to be very interactive with y'all.
If you are nervous, you will be very honest with that audience.
All right.
That's emotionally vulnerable.
Hey, you all up in my outro. Back up. Okay. See what she does?
I said by flight.
So
I was answering Patreon.
Y'all want to hear the joke? So
no. Check the link for tickets in the show notes in the description of this video. Y'all, God bless, God keep you.
Hold on. Rate and review if you're listening.
I said that, baby.
Did you? All right.
I love y'all.
Y'all have a good one, fam.
Bye.